My name is Sean McAllister. I'm the director of the Liberace of Baghdad. And this is
months before the Arab
I'd like to thank Diane and the Sundance Film Festival for inviting us here.
I'm apprehensive at the first American screening. My film shows the harsh realities of life in Iraq, and the audience here might see me as anti-American.
Museum at the moment. Riveting stuff.
The government will
The film, I think Sean said to me just now that you finished the film in March. So how have you been since then? How are you and how are your family? Because when I saw the film, that's the first thing I wanted to know was, how are you doing?
I continue my life the small way, small house, and I stay with my kids, lovely way. I stopped to fight anyone because I fight too much with Ragda. She chose her way to be in revolution again, to continue with Syrian people outside Syria normally. But she win, I think, and I support her. Now we are a friend. We have a connection together, and she can be with her kids when she wants. And everything is okay. My life is okay. I continue.
Good, glad to hear it. Sean, can we go back to the beginning of this journey? In a bar in Damascus, 2009, you were drinking and this gentleman here was drinking. How did that connection happen? And then how did it become a film?
Well, the connection was that we bumped into each other, and he took a call from his wife, he took a call, and I said, he was a guy, a friend of a friend, and I said, who's that? And he said, it was my wife. She's in prison. And I was quite shocked and taken aback. And he was looking at me in this kind of suspicious way, I guess, as this Westerner over here trying to make a film. And I think it was later on he sort of said to me, look, if you really want to make a film about Syria, forget this, bullshit, come and film me. Because what I'd been living in was this bubble that we'd all been going to visit, which was this 1 square mile of the old city of Damascus, which was this tourist trap. Once you stepped out of that, and it's almost like once you scratch the surface of Syria, you find some sort of truth. And I think as documentarians, we're just looking for someone to take us. And it was an obvious sign for me. And then it was various obstacles to get to this, but he never initially trusted me for a long time. Why are you laughing? I'm a very trustable person. And then when he did, his wife came out of prison and she was like, who the hell's he? And she didn't trust me. So it took another year for someone else to trust me. But that's what we do. It's all about building trust and getting it on the screen.
So why did you trust him, and how long did that trust take to build up, or was it instant?
The situation in Syria is very hard. You cannot trust with anyone because all the time you feel secret police around you. They watching for you, especially me because I'm Palestinian. I'm wanted this time. My wife in the prison. I have no life. I have nothing. How I can trust with foreign men who come from outside, and he's English, our old enemy.
British, actually.
Yeah. Then I want to tell him something, but not everything. I want him to take the picture who I know, not everybody know, to take it outside, to let the people know what happened in Syria. After he asked others around this park when I meet him, he asked others about the freedom, about how you think about your president, how you think about the prisoners inside. Nobody answered. Everybody afraid. Everybody say, no, we have a freedom, we have a great president, we have a good life. They lie. Something inside me want to explosion, to do something I told him, if you want to see what happened in Syria, come with me, I show you. And he want to film me all the time. I told him, not me. The problem is everywhere. It's 25 million Syrians need freedom, and they must to fight one time, for their freedom. And that's what happened later.
Well, I'd given up on it halfway through, to be quite honest, because I couldn't. I delivered a different film to the BBC, and when they'd commissioned Syria, I delivered a film about Yemen, which is a different story. We don't even want to go there, but so I'd sort of given up on it, and a guy wrote to me, and Matt Scholes, who's here tonight, and he'd read an interview about it and wanted to just do something because he was a bit frustrated in what he was doing, and then he took off with 300 hours of footage and came back to me a few months later, and he got me excited about it again, and then we started, working on it again, and I mean, I don't know what the answer to that really is. The long haul is every film's a long haul. Everything you do is you start something and you never really know where it's really going to end, and that's what I sort of said at the beginning. It's a kind of commitment between, it's a relationship that you have between a filmmaker and a subject, and a filmmaker and a broadcaster, and it results in stuff. And sometimes we start stuff, and sometimes we don't finish things. And I didn't really have an end. I mean, I did at different points have an end point in mind, and in a funny kind of way, it's kind of good that it didn't end earlier, because we wouldn't all be sat here now. I think what makes this film fascinating is that it wasn't a Syria film, that it was never commissioned as a Syria film, because the Syria films have all become such a tired film, and that I followed my impulse and thing with these people, which was just a human connection, I guess, into their life abroad, without ever knowing that a little boy would be swept up on a shore a few weeks ago that would suddenly make this film popular.
But it's a universal film, isn't it? It's a family.
I suppose, because in a sense, I think that's what's also at the heart of it. I don't know. I didn't really think about it like that, but I think analysing it, looking at it now, I suppose that whenever I go to places, I always try to connect with people and think that my target audience isn't highbrow head cases. It's always a few people that work in factories in Hull that ever go to Syria and things. And I always think about trying to get them to engage with these things, because I think if they step into a serious documentary and really engage with it, with a character or with a family, the next time they'll watch the news, that they'll go with the news. Because I think the news always thinks they're communicating all the time, but they're not. It's a bit like watching the weather. You watch the weather and then you think, well, what's the weather like tomorrow?
I born in Jerusalem in Palestine, and I come to Syria at 1971. There is a law in Syria: if any Palestinian come to Syria after 1958, they cannot accept him like a refugee in Syria. They let him without paper. I stay all my life in Syria without any paper, no identity, never. And for that, if I do any problem, they kick me outside Syria. They kick me 3 times outside of Syria. At the last, Lebanon kicked me too. But before Raqda, I was, he say in the film, I was a fighter in BLO, like a Palestinian freedom we want. And it's not accepted in Syria. Nobody accepts you like that. For that, and I am in the left way. It's more dangerous for Syrian government. For that, they put me in the prison 3 years. And this time, I meet Raqda in the prison. She was opposition, Syrian opposition, and communist. I met her in the prison, and after the life start. And I think you know it. I start with Sean before the revolution start in Syria, near 10 months, I think.
No, I think the implication is when you blame, I guess, with
Yes,
the arrest.
do you blame
do you
the
blame
film?
me because I was arrested?
Yeah.
You're now over here, and that's
After I say that, after we start revolution at Mars 2011, and I start to do in the street everything demonstration, to help the people who need helping. And Sean filmed me everywhere, and they arrested him, and they have the film, and his camera and his computer, they have everything. I am dangerous, and everybody know they want to kill me now. They don't put me in the prison again. After Channel 4 called me to say, you are dangerous, you have to leave Syria now. Go to Lebanon, and that's what what happened. And in Beirut, you cannot move, you cannot be with your friend in Syria, you cannot do anything, you are like a dead man. And Ragda cannot accept that. She want to be in freedom, she want to be with her comrade everywhere, and she come back to Syria and she let me alone in Beirut, without paper, without anything. It's a starting of a problem between me and Ragda.
Can I just ask a question about when they arrested you and they took your laptop? How much footage did you lose, and was it all backed up?
I lost that I was going in and out when I lost that particular period of that shooting. But I did film an interview with Ragda where I asked her that specific question: do you blame me? For this? And she said, no, the only person we blame as revolutionists for any of this is Bashar al-Assad. And I think we should all remember that. And the only problem in Syria at the moment is Bashar al-Assad.
I did some tableaus in Beirut before I come to France, and actually I give it for the church in Beirut. The people who helped me to eat in Beirut with the church. Can I say who is there?
Armenians,
Yeah, and Jehovah.
Jehovah's Witnesses, yeah.
Yeah, they help me. They bring me food. They let me alive because I have no way never to work, to do anything. And I give all my tableaux for them when I come back to France. In France, I start to do my art again, and I do 2 expo, and I have one this month too.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, is it possible that we get our next guest up on the Skype, please? Meet Ragda, Kaka, and Bob. That's a very warm welcome from London for you all. Same question I asked Amir. How are you all doing now? 6 months since the film finished, 5-6 months. How are you all doing? Ragda, would you like to go first?
At the beginning, good night for everybody here, and good night, Amir. Thank you for everything you do tonight for Syrian people and for us, like family, still catch the hope and wait to go to Syria.
Okay. And Kaka and Bob, hello. How are you? Are you enjoying France?
Bonjour à tout le monde. Bonjour tout le monde. Je pense que ça vous a plu. Aujourd'hui, je suis pas là parce que demain j'ai école. Et que voilà.
Actually, he was speaking in French, so I'm gonna translate what he was saying. And he said, I hope you enjoyed it. And he couldn't make it today because he had school tomorrow.
And what about you, Bob? Your English in the film is fantastic. How did you learn English? Sorry, Kaka, I mean.
Oh, well, I don't know. Staying with Sean for 5 years.
We speak English because of Sean.
I just think that when people see the dead images of kids swept up on the seashore that they can't humanize, they can think of this little fella because they've seen this film maybe, and think that actually every refugee is a human being and has a family.
I am a refugee. Actually, I'm happy to put my family story in front of the people. It's not bad because it's not my story, it's not my special. It's for all the Arabian people's story, especially Syrian and Palestinian. I think everybody between you now feel the same feeling like a man, and who is a woman, she feel like Ragda feeling. If we are homeless, what do you think? I want to let everybody know what happened. I want everybody to share with this message we send it for the humanity.
Okay, Ragda, Kaka, and Bob, how does it feel to see your life on a film?
I wish everybody to know what the message we hope to arrive to all people, to support Syrian and Palestinian, especially Syrian now, because we are need all the people support us now and know how the Syrian people was before revolution and now how thinking, how dreaming in the life. And I want to especially message to arrive to all people because me and Amr have a great story. Grow up in the prison because he is a great man, and me and he make a very beautiful family because that wherever divorce do and happen, but we are have a very great friendship together and with our children. This is a message. I hope this message arrives to all people. Just that.
Thank you.
Sorry, because my language is very bad.
And Kaka and Bob, how do you feel about seeing yourself?
Je suis petit et après que j'ai changé ma voix, on a passé des moments incroyables et voilà.
He see himself as a little boy, as when he was 4 years old, and how he changed his voice growing up, and how we passed some incredible moments together.
Indeed. And you, Kaka?
Well, I was shocked for the first time I saw the movie, and I don't know. It was really amazing to see my life in 90 minutes. That was really incredible.
I have to say it was amazing for us to see it as well. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us this evening. Please put your hands together for Ragda, Bob, Kaka, Amir, and Sean.